everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over why our history curriculum did not work out for us. I'm really sad about that. Grab a cup of coffee and let's go over it. Alright guys, so in my curriculum video that I'll try to post above, we decided to use Biblioplan for our history curriculum this year. And you guys, I was so excited about this. We found it at a homeschool convention and the girl that I took a class with completely sold me on this. So the pros to this book, which is what sold me, it's inexpensive. I think this one was about $36 and then this book to go with it was about $17, or maybe this one was even $50, but that's not bad. And let me tell you why. Because they have 4 books for history that you circle back to. So they say that, you go through the first 4 books and then by the time, they're in 4th grade, you circle back to the first one again and you do it again. And then you do it, a 3rd time. So if you start in kinder and then you go all the way to 12th grade, they would have covered all of the 4 books 3 different times. And that sounded great to me because I'm like, okay, cool. They'll be introduced to the information, then they can build on their knowledge for it, and then they'll be experts by the time, they graduate. And not just that, but it's a 3-day-a-week program. And I thought that's awesome because we're doing block scheduling, so they're doing history on Wednesdays and Fridays, and I figured, hey, to cram that 3rd day in is not going to be a problem because, it's only 1 day, whereas Master Books is 5 days a week, and we're kind of spacing that into 2 days, which hasn't been a problem for us. So I thought, oh, well, 3-day-a-week curriculum is going to be no problem. It's going to be easy peasy. No. You guys, I was so excited. I was like, yes, this is the answer to my prayers because I so desperately wanted a science curriculum and a history curriculum that I could teach both kids at the same time instead of stretching myself too thin trying to teach, Addie one history and Noah the other history. Unfortunately, it didn't work for us. And it was my own fault. Biblioplan, I think, is a beautiful curriculum. I think that it does give you a lot of really great information. One of the main reasons that we decided that it just wasn't working out was, the first day the first week that we read it, it was really long. I think it ended up being 20 or 21 pages. And that's just a lot of information, especially for little kids. And in fact, on the first day when I tried reading it with Addie, I lost her. She's my flighty one, you guys. I love her, but she's young. She's not supposed to have the attention span to sit somewhere for, 21 pages like this. That's a lot. That's really excessive. And so maybe it would work with a smaller child if you even did this, maybe 4 or 5 days a week instead of the 3. But cramming it into 2 for her age was just it wasn't going to work. I ended up having a book that has all of the subjects for pre-K, and I just pulled that out and used that for her for history. And for Noah, he was a little bit more susceptible to using this book. The questions, they did stress him out because Master Books has not been set up like that, and he's more used to their setup. So the first day, he was already after reading those 10 pages, because we broke it up. So we read 10 the first day and then 10 the second day. And it was just too much. And even after reading that, I myself was like, I don't want to do this. I was spent towards the end of the day. I love reading and I didn't want to read anymore. But so after that, he did answer half the questions. In each one, there's 18 questions. And then if you want to do a little extra, they have challenge questions. Now, he was getting kind of stressed from it, so we tried a few different things because he didn't want to do it, but I was like, you know what, let's give it a chance. Let's try it for 2 or 3 weeks and see how it goes. And if you're still I don't want to do this, I'm not enjoying it, then we'll stop it. But I at least wanted him to have an open mind, try it out, and really give it a try, and then before he called it quits. So we tried a few different things. The first day I wrote the page numbers. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I wrote the page numbers of where he could find it, so then he could go in the book and he at least knew where it was. He just had to read for it. Because one of the things I'm really working on with Noah this year is gaining confidence in himself, because he's really smart, and a lot of the times he knows things, he's just not confident in himself enough to answer it or to find it on his own. So I was trying to help him without giving him the answers, but I think that stressed him out even more. So the second day when we did it, I was like, okay, let's read through the questions before we read the book. And then that way we know what keywords to listen for. And when I emphasize a keyword, you know to pay attention and listen for the answer. That seemed to help him so much. After that second day, he was like, okay, this is a lot better and it's more bearable. And then the second week we were doing it, and it was still working, but he wasn't enjoying it. And even when we would start it, he'd be like, oh, are we doing Biblioplan today? And you guys, like, I don't want him to come to learning like that. I don't want him to come to learning dreading it, because I remember what it was like for me in high school, and I would dread something and then my heart wasn't in it, my mind wasn't in it, and I don't feel like learning should be like that. I want him to be excited about learning. I want him to say, yes, I get to do Biblioplan today, like, and just be all pumped up and excited for it. And that wasn't happening. And that's not going to happen with every curriculum, but I don't want him to start it with just dread either. So it didn't work for us. And after giving it a try for 3 weeks, he did stick with it. He did stick with it for 3 weeks, and I'm very proud of him for that. And he gave it his all each time. And at the end of the 3 weeks, he was like, Mom, I really don't want to do this anymore. And I could force him. I could say, well, sorry, kid, we spent, $70 on this, so guess we're going to be using it. But, I mean, if I have to pull teeth to get him to learn, is it worth it? So, now, none of this is to say that it is Biblioplan's fault. It is actually kind of my fault, because if you watched my video where I mentioned homeschool theories, I did a really bad thing and I didn't stick to ours. I know that we're a Charlotte Mason kind of approach family, maybe even a touch of unschooling, but I got so excited and went for the classical approach curriculum, and it didn't work out. So I found another curriculum that has a Charlotte Mason approach that, we're going to try out. But it's going to take a little bit because money doesn't grow on trees, so we got to save for it. So we'll probably be getting that sometime in November. Until then, we're going to be doing some unit studies that I'm probably going to create. Or maybe we'll sit down and we'll just learn the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. Those are still history things. And like I have said before, homeschooling does not have to be expensive. You guys, the curriculum I'm currently looking at is $250. But the bright side, everything is printed for you, and all of the additional books that, go tie into the curriculum are sent with it. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to plan nothing. I love that. I'm trying to make my life easier. But, that's still going to take some time to save up and get. There are ways to learn history without it costing an arm and a leg. So that's what we're going to be doing until November when we try out a new one. And hopefully that one goes well. I don't know, you guys. I really had high hopes for this one. So, with all of that said, do you guys have a history curriculum that you love? Throw it down in the comments. Let me know. I haven't purchased anything yet, so I don't know, my mind could change. And if you like this video, give us a big thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button, and we'll see you later. Bye.